Mm.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So we have to start with the next, which is Purna Kumbhadhara. Yes,
Correct.
correct.
Correct. Correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
Purna Bhupadhara.
So this nama, which is Purna Kumbhadhara, normally Purna, which is full, Kumbha is a kind of a pot, Dhara, one who holds. So one who holds a pot which is full to its brim. That's the understanding of the word Purna Kumbha Dhara. Now, in the iconography of many of the forms of Devi, we see that she is holding a Purna Patra or a Purna Kalasha, which is nothing but Amrita Kalasha. Okay, a pot which is filled with nectar, signifying that she is the one who bestows the immortality, the the Purna Avastha or Amritatva Avastha. So that is how we connect this particular nama uh, with uh, with the iconographical representation of Devi. But if we inquire a bit deeper into this nama, Purna Kumbha, the word Kumbha is also the form of retention of one's prana shakti in the form of the breath during the process of the pranayama. The pranayama has three stages. Normally, I'm uh, I'm I'm explaining this process, but when we go into the Shiva Yoga, it has many further phases. That is the first, which is the inhalation, is called as the Puraka. The the retention is called as the Kumbhaka, and the exhalation is called as the Rechaka. So during the Puraka, we fill in, okay, the prana shakti through the Vayu. In Kumbhaka stage, we retain, and in the Rechaka stage, we exhale. Okay, so these are the three stages of the pranayama. Uh, in the Shaiva Tantras, there are like each of this is further explained in very great detail and broken down to several stages also. Like Puraka is fivefold, Rechaka is fivefold, Kumbhaka is fourfold. Some very new perspectives which the Patanjali Yoga does not offer. So, what is the importance of the Kumbhaka and the Puraka stage? In the Kundalini Yoga, it is said that the prana and the apana, the movement of the prana and apana, as long as it is happening as a normal flow, the Chaitanya Shakti, which is in the form of the three and a half coiled serpent or the Kundalini, she is dormant. So the longer someone is able to practice the Kumbhaka and he is able to balance the prana and the apana, the Chit Kundalini or the Kundalini Shakti arises, and then the Shatchakra Bhedana or the Chakra Bhedana takes place. So the proper performance of the Kumbhaka stage is considered to be very, very important in the Kundalini Yoga. So when we call Devi as Purna Kumbha Dhara, see this dharana means not the stage in the yoga, but to hold after filling in, after the Puraka, the Kumbhaka Dharana, no, holding the breath in the Kumbhaka is the key phase which helps in attainment of Devi. So this is from the yogic point of view. When we look into this nama, this is one idea that we get. From Vichara point of view, from the Jnana Yoga point of view, when we look into this, the Chit, which is the substratum of all, including the experiences that we are having, all our experiences actually arise and subside back into the consciousness. Okay, so this is what is explained as the Panchakrityas, which we as a limited experiencer, as a Sakala Jiva also perform. So in that stage, or at the Shiva Avastha, when it is done, understanding one's full uh, Panchashaktis by Parashiva, the Purna and the Kumbha. Just a minute. 1 minute, just like. I'm sorry. So in the Parashiva Avastha also, when the Panchakrityas are performed by Shiva, there also everything arises. The Chit acts like the substratum for the entire manifestation to takes place. And Acharya Kshem uses an example of a canvas and a painting. Okay, where the entire painting is resting on the canvas. Here, the Chit is that canvas or that substratum on which the entire thing takes place. And none of these really affect the nature of Chit because it is ever full, Atipurna. See, where will the change or what will undergo mutation or change? Anything which is seeking stability will undergo mutation or change. A basic concept that we learn in chemistry. The atoms let go of electrons or accept the electrons, okay, to attain a stable nature or the valency. Similarly, any change that we see, it is happening because either something is deficient and that deficiency needs to be uh, overcome by dropping or by adding. This is the change. Okay. So if there is something which is in which there is no deficiency at all, no change will take place. This is how the uh, the Trika explains the immutability of Parashiva. So ever Purna. Okay. So the form is ever Purna. Kumbhadhara. So Kumbha is used like a metaphor. Just like a pot which is full to the brim, okay, does not uh, give rise to what we can say, disturbances and others. The famous proverb that we have, empty vessels makes more noise. We have something opposite of that in Sanskrit. It says, Sampurna kumbham nakaroti shabdam. The pot which is full will not make noise. All right. So, uh, being Purna, okay, you are still, you are stable. Okay. So that state of immutability, because of being perfect, because of being full, because there is no lacuna, there is nothing missing there, is the Purna Kumbhadhara stage of Devi. Therefore, she is Purna Kumbhadhara. Then we come to the next Nama, Dhara. Dhara is normally understood as earth. That's a specific term. Independently, if the word Dhara is used anywhere in sentences as thing, first understanding of the word Dhara will be is earth. Until unless you add some prefix before it to make it more qualified, Normally, if or independently, if the word dhara is used, it only will mean earth. Okay. So Devi is called as Dhara, or earth is called as Dhara because of her capacity to bear everything, because of its capacity to hold, to support everything. Since the earth supports all the life on it, she is called as Dhara. The same, by extension, is true for Devi also, because she is the fundamental substratum on which the entire manifestation takes place. So she is the one who is, or in whom all the vikaras appear. Okay, apparently appear as vikaras. Okay, which we experience as various events and emotions and objects in our day-to-day activities. All these arise from the substratum which is Devi, since she holds all the experience, or since all the experiences are happening on her, she is the ultimate dhara. The earth may be the dhara with respect to the life forms and other things, but the cosmic existence is something which is contingent on Devi. Therefore, she is dhara. Uh, Bhiru. No. Yeah, Bhiru. Next nama is Bhiru. Oh, no, no. Sorry, sorry. Abhiru. Abhiru. So the next nama is Abhiru. So Abhiruhu. One Bhiru Shabda in Sanskrit normally means one who is afraid. So the opposite of that is Abhiruhu. One who is brave, one who is not afraid, someone who does not know fear. So Abhiru means one who is free from fear, anxiety, and such emotions. So Devi is called as Abhiruhu. Okay. Um, for two reasons. Number one, whom will we fear? When we address this question, we will understand why Devi is Abhiru. Normally, the emotion of fear that we experience happens only in two circumstances, or even that you can reduce to one single cause. Okay. When there is, say, for example, we are sitting alone in a room and we know perfectly well, okay, apart from me, there is nobody else. Okay, let's assume that this conviction is something that we are having very deep rooted conviction. Okay, nothing can shake me from this conviction. Then I will not have any fear. But at the same, you are in a new place, okay, which you are not familiar, and you are alone in the room. Even a tiniest sound, okay, might scare us. So the source of fear is not actually the sound. The source of fear is anticipating someone or anticipating something negative from someone. So knowing that there is someone else is the cause of the fear. So in the Shastric inquiry, it is extended to reach a point where we say the bhaya or the fear is caused by the sense of someone existing apart from me. So it is the duality which causes fear. And the Veda mantra also support this. Dvitiyat vai bhayam bhavati. The Veda mantra is Dvitiyat vai bhayam bhavati. The bhaya is caused because of a dvitiya. Knowing that someone else apart from you, okay, exists, the bhaya is an emotion which is generated because of that. All right. So when we approach it from this fundamental, okay, understanding of the cause of fear, we know that there is none other than Devi, okay, as an existing principle, because the entire satta, the entire existence is her own. All the other manifestations draw their existence from her. So apart from her, when there is no second, she cannot experience this emotion of fear also. So she is abhiruhu. Okay, one who is free from fear, one who is fearless. Right? From the Pauranika and the legend point of view, she is the uh, 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 Devi personifies valor, okay, virya, shakti, okay. Therefore, she is Abhiru. That is fine. But from the Adhyatma or from the spiritual point of view, the absence of a second entity apart from herself is the cause or is the reason why she does not know or she does not experience the emotion of fear. So, Abhiruhu. Next nama is
Bhairavi.
Bhairavi. Bhairavi.
Bhairavi. Hmm.
Bhairavi is the consort of Bhairava is Bhairavi. Okay, that is the feminine form of the word Bhairava. First, we derive the word Bhairava. It's all from the dhatu bhi bhai only. Okay. Uh, so, Bhairava, from the etymology of bhi bhai dhatu, okay, if you see, Bhairava is one who causes fear. So, Bhairavi, as a feminine form of the same word, would mean one who causes fear. So, Bhairavi is the one who causes fear. Bhairavi. Okay. So, fear to whom? Fear to one's enemies. Fear to someone who is pitched against her devotees. So, in this manner, she protects her devotee. So, when a devotee or a sadhaka seeks the protection of the Devi, okay, it is because of this nature of her being the Bhairavi who can cause fear in the minds of anyone else who intends to disturb or cause harm to him. Okay, she is Bhairavi. This is normally how we understand the Devata, right? But we have uh, within the Trika, the word Bhairava is understood at a very high and very elevated spiritual level. The word Bhairava is the word to represent the Parashiva, the supreme uh, Shiva or the supreme consciousness itself. And in many places, the explanation for this Shabda has been given by several acharyas. Okay, and one in a very simple and this thing, if we have to understand whatever they have explained, the word Bhairava is explained not from Bhi Bhai Dhatu, but as constituting three words. Okay. And this is Harana, then Ra is Ravana, and Va is Vamana. Okay. So these are three activities: Harana, Ravana, and Vamana. And one who performs these three, or one who has the potency to perform these three, is Bhairava. What is Bharana? Bharana means one who sustains. One who sustains. Ravana means one who withdraws, okay, or one who dissolves. Vamana means one who brings forth. Normally, the word Vamana means, uh, in any other sentence in Sanskrit, it means to vomit. All right. But Vamana is the act of bringing forth from oneself. Okay. So that is the sense in which the word Vamana is used, which is nothing but creation. So three acts have been described. That is the sustenance, the sthiti, which is bharana. By Ravana, the samhara aspect is signified. By Vamana, the Srishti aspect is signified. The other two Krityas have to be understood. The Tirodhana, Anugraha have to be understood. Okay. So Bhairava is the supreme Chit which performs Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirodhana and the Anugraha, the Panchakrityas. And it is this Panchakrityas which is the standard uh, identification mark for identifying Shiva. Okay. And it is using these five at a much more individual, at a much more contracted level, that Acharya Kshemraja proves that we are all Shiva. Okay. We are all Shiva because it is very easy, even intellectually, for us to understand that Shiva is everywhere. But it is so hard to convince yourself that I am Shiva. Because at every stage, I know I am imperfect. That's the experience I have. So, how do I convince, or how does the Shastra give that conviction that you are Shiva? By showing Samya, by showing equivalence between the two. And it is through, and since that agency or the Kartrutva, okay, is the hallmark of Trika, okay, so through agency, which is the Panchakritya at the cosmic level, okay, which Shiva performs, when it is scaled down and explained at the Anu or the Jiva level, the Shastra tries to uh, show that it is Shiva in a contracted form who appears as the Jiva or as the Anu. So Bhairava is that supreme aspect. Bhairavi, also the explanation is the same, the Bharana, Ravana and Vamana Shilatva. Okay, one who has the capacity to do these three acts. So she is Bhairavi, the ultimate Chit principle. So Bhairavi. Dhiraha. Next nama is
Biru.
Bhiruhu. Bhiruhu. Okay. Bhiruhu means one who is afraid. Okay. All right. No. Okay. Bhiru is also one who is endowed with the capacity to uh, endure, the capacity um, to forbear. Okay. So once again, Prithvi is, or the earth has one very beautiful uh, name called as Sarvam Saha. Sarvam Saha means one who bears everything. Okay. Sarvam Sahate. One who bears everything is Sarvam Saha. Similarly, Devi is Sarvam Saha, or Devi is Bhiru. Bhiru. Why is she Bhiru? Because the anger or other emotions that we display, no, even as a mother or father, when we show it to our children, we know that ultimately we are not uh, intending any malice towards our children. Still, that anger is used as a kind of a deterrent for the child so that he does not perform it again. And no matter what, it's a normal tendency of parents uh, to forgive the errors committed by the children. If we can see this, we can generalize this to most cases in the world. Okay, most of the parents are like this. If with a limited understanding, if the parents in the world can behave like this, then with perfect understanding, how will the universal parents behave? Because as Kalidasa describes, Shiva Shakti are universal parents. Now, when he says Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau, they are Jagatah Pitarau. They are the parents of the entire creation. And of the two also, when we see them as Shiva and Shakti elements, it is the Shakti who is the cause of Anugraha. So it is the Shakti, that is why the word Shaktipata is Rudra's Shakti Pada. The descent of Rudra's grace. Okay, and what is the Rudra's grace? It is Shakti, which is Rudra's grace. So Shakti or Devi is the embodiment of Anugraha. So uh, in the Shaiva Siddhanta traditions, which is the Tamil Shaivite traditions, when we go to the temples or when there is a description of the lives of saints, there is a beautiful um, hagiography, which is a story narration or which is a narration of the life of the Shaivite saints. 63 Shaivite saints are enumerated in that particular text. Each of these came from very different walks of life. Each of them were tested, some very severely, before okay they ascended to the moksha or to liberation, whatever. In all these, while the testing takes place, Shiva alone will come in the story. Okay, Shiva alone will come in the story. And when the bestowing the liberation, okay, part comes in their lives, he will always come with Devi seated on the Vrisha, the bull. So even now, whenever these stories are enacted in different places in the temples during the annual festivals, this is called as a Vrishabha Vahana Seva. Okay, where Shiva and Parvati will be seated on a silver or a golden Vrisha bull. Devi is the Anugraha, one who provides the Anugraha there. So, being the source of Anugraha, she has to be compassionate. She has to uh, be someone who is basically forgiving in nature. So, Bhiru is that form because as uh, for her, she knows that all the uh, mistakes are being committed from the state of ignorance. Okay. And it is only through her grace that even this ignorance will go. So she forces this anugraha upon us. That's all we can say. We don't deserve anugraha. Let's not be under that impression at all that I deserve anugraha. No. It is her grace, okay, which falls upon us, no matter who or where or what we are. To be able to receive that, to be able to recognize and receive is something that we need to learn. Okay, so Bhiruhu. Then we have the next Nama, Bhira. No, correct. Huh?
Bhima.
Bhima. Sorry. Bhima. Okay, Bhima. Bhima is terrible or supremely powerful. Okay. Basically, one who causes uh, uh, fear. Okay. Due to some, this thing is Bhima. Even the character in the Mahabharata was called because the moment he was born, Pandu drops him and he falls on a boulder, on a rock, and the rock is shattered to pieces. And he lets go a cry, okay, which was so terrific at that moment. So he was named as Bhima. All right. So Devi is called as Bhima. In Saptashati, there are 7 forms in which Devi manifests, which she herself narrates in the Dwadasha Adhyaya. One is Bhima Devi. Okay. And this Bhima Devi is in Himachal. So Bhima Devi is the manifestation of Mula Durga. Okay. And there also, it is this, in this sense, one who causes fear in the minds of the Asuras. Okay. In that sense, the word Bhima is used. Now, from the Adhyatma point of view, what is the meaning of Bhima? In the Upanishads, the Kena Upanishad, there is a beautiful story. I don't know whether I narrated this episode. The Devas, after one particular Deva Asuras Yuddha, okay, the war between the Devas and the Asuras, they were particularly very overjoyed by their victory. They all thought that they have won because of their own prowess, and they were celebrating. To show them their right place, at that occasion, one divine form appears. The Upanishad calls him as an Yaksha. Okay? So, a divine form appears and throws a blade of grass and asks them, okay, to disturb it from its place using their powers. So, the first Vayu comes, tries to blow it away, he is unable. Then Agni comes, tries to scorch it, doesn't work. So, the Devas try, and finally Indra comes and recognizes. And when he recognizes and surrenders, the form of Yaksha turns to Uma Haimavati. It turns to form of a Devi, a resplendent form in which Devi appears, and she is called as Uma Haimavati. Uma, the daughter of Himavan. So she makes them realize that all of them derive their source of power or energy from the Supreme. And then we come across in another place the reinforcement of this particular idea. It says that the sun, the moon, and every other principle, every other devata at their devata swarupa level or at their physical level as the forces of nature, they are performing their activities following a proper cycle. You can call it as the rhythms of the nature or kind of things. Because they are all afraid of, just like in an office, if you want everyone to work properly, you will require someone to be the supervisor or whoever. Okay. It is because of him that everybody performs. So this is uh, this psychology is understood by the Shastra. It knows that naturally a human being because of his inborn, or any created being because of its imperfection, because of the malas, is tends to drift towards uh, towards uh, anarchy. Okay, so it is a fear of something that drives people performing their activities properly. At a cosmic level, this entity is the supreme, because of which everyone else is performing. Bhishasmat vataf pavate. Afraid of that principle, which is Parashiva, vataha pavate. The wind blows. Bhishasmat tapati suryaha. The sun burns because of the fear of that principle. So here fear is not that limited sense of fear that uh, we are understanding, but it is that regulatory principle, okay, which we can call it as a dharma, which we can call it as a rita, the cosmic order. The establisher of that cosmic order is Devi or Shiva himself. Therefore, she is the one who is Bhima, afraid of whom everyone else functions or everyone else performs their activities. So she is Bhima. The next nama is
Bhira.
Bhira.
Tripura, Tripura Sundari,
Tripur Bhairavi.
Tripura Bhairavi.
Tripura Bhairavi. Okay. Tripura Bhairavi. Okay. I think we will take this nama in the next session, because I have a lot to say in Tripura Bhairavi.
Okay.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Shekharji. Thank you so much.
Namaste, thank you.